Today we gather to commemorate a truly significant event, the felicitation and valedictory ceremony of our year-long Silver Jubilee celebrations. I am Arhant, and by my side is Rachna. With great delight that we extend a heartfelt welcome to our esteemed guests, the pioneers who have been an integral part of this remarkable 25-year journey. Our distinguished chairman, director, esteemed professors, our dedicated faculty, staff members, and the presence of esteemed members of the media all contribute to making this event truly special.
As we embark on this event, let us commence with an invocation of divine blessings, graced by the melodious tunes of our music club's soulful prayer song from album Rutu Hirva, originally sung by Asha Bosleji, lyrics written by Shanta Shelki.
जय शारदे वागीश्वरी जय शारदे वागीश्वरी निधि गंगे विद्याधरी वागीश्वरी वागीश्वरी जय शारदे वागीश्वरी जोस्नी परी कांति तुझी जोस्नी परी कांति तुझी मुखरम्य शारद चंद्रमा जोस्नी परी कांति तुझी मुखरम्य शारद चंद्रमा
emotional song.
The evolution of IIIT Bangalore, with its impressive infrastructure, dynamic curriculum, extensive research influence, and the vibrant cultural fabric woven organically over the course of 25 years, is undeniably a captivating story. Arhant and I will have the pleasure of unveiling some intriguing highlights of this remarkable journey as we steer you through the proceedings of tonight's event.
Bangalore, India's Silicon Valley, saw early recognition of its IT sector's growth potential in the 90s. To ensure a skilled workforce, the government of Karnataka and the IT industry aimed to establish an elite IT institute in Bangalore akin to the IITs.
Anticipating the future significance of the IT sector, Karnataka took the pioneering step in 1997 by formulating the country's first IT policy in response to industry concerns. It's fascinating to note that the inception of IIITB was a direct result of this forward thinking IT policy. The idea was thus an IT only IIT.
Karnataka was way ahead of the game. How awesome is that?
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for an exciting journey. We have a wealth of fascinating content in store for you. Now, truly befitting the occasion, we invite our beloved director, Professor Debabrata Das, who himself has been part of IIIT Bangalore's outstanding journey for 22 out of 25 years, to deliver the welcome address.
Good morning and namaskara to all present here. It is a great honor and privilege to welcome this distinguished assembly of individuals who have played a pivotal role in the establishment of IIIT Bangalore. Today's felicitation and valedictory event marks the culmination of year-long celebration with multiple talks by eminent people and student activities commemorating our Silver Jubilee year. On this occasion, we would like to honor the visionary pioneers who have contributed and holds immense value to IIIT Bangalore. And also, we will humbly seek their blessings for going forward. As we reflect on IIIT Bangalore's journey, it is worth noting that on September 18, 1998, when it was officially registered with the Karnataka Register of Societies, it was akin to a nascent being a baby, ignorant to remarkable institution of international renown it would eventually become. We want to thank from bottom of our heart these 9 individuals who signed the Memorandum of Association for the Society Registration. Sri N. Vishwanathan, IS officer from Principal Secretary, Government of Karnataka, Padma Vibhushan, Mr. Narayan Murthy, co-founder of Infosys and Catamaran, and Mr. B.V. Naidu, Director STPI at that time, and Mr. Ramon Rao from IIM Bangalore, Mr. B.K. Das, IAS officer from Government of Karnataka, Professor Govardhan Mehta from Indian Institute of Science, and Mr. Som Mittal, digital at that time in Hewlett Packard later on, and late Sri Devang Mehta and Sri Sanjay Dasgupta. We consider ourselves extraordinarily fortunate to have in our midst the eminent visionaries whose efforts paved the way for this transformation a quarter of century ago. IIIT Bangalore today stands as a testament to the pioneering alliance between the government, industries, and academia, a partnership that has scripted this remarkable success story. This collaborative endeavor has authored an incredible tale of triumph, rooted in the pressing requirement for the institution that could provide a structured information technology education to address then growing IT workforce demands in Karnataka and wider Indian landscape. It is my distinct honor to extend a warm welcome to the esteemed individuals who showed the seeds of the vision of 25 years ago. We are privileged to have with us today Mr. N. Vishwanathan, who served as our first chairman when he was the principal secretary. Sir, thank you, of the Industrial Development and Commerce of Government of Karnataka. And we are also delighted to have Padma Vibhushan C. Narayana Murthy, the renowned IT luminary of India, our second chairman. Thank you, sir, for coming and blessing this occasion. And Mr. B.V. Naidu, as well as Mr. Raman Rao, among others, who played the instrumental role in nurturing this vision. A warm welcome to all of you, sir. I am pleased to extend wholehearted thanks and to Padma Vibhushan Sri Krish Gopalakrishnan, co-founder of Infosys and Axelar Venture, our current chairman of the governing body. He has been diligently guiding our institution till this day. Thank you. We also want to convey our deepest gratitude and regards to Mr. S.M. Krishna, the Chief Minister of Karnataka in 1999, and the Commerce Industry Ministers from the inception of IIIT-Bangalore, and all the ITBT ministers till date for their support to IIIT-Bangalore. I also want to thank Padma Bhushan Srimati Sudha Murthy, whose invaluable contribution have left an indelible mark on this institution, both in its formative years and as a distinguished member of our governing body, and he also, due to her contribution, our first in IIITB library, IIITB Women Hostel, and also this Ramanujan building came from Infosys Foundation. And my warm thanks to her also. I also want to thank my respected Professor S. Sadagopan, who was steadfastly steered our institution as his first director from June 1999 for the notable 22 years. I extend my heartfelt namaskara and warm welcome, Professor Sadagopan. I also extend my warm welcome to Mrs. Sadagopan, who graced us with her presence. As a matter of a remarkable coincidence, today marks their wedding anniversary. And on this occasion, I request both of them to receive a flower bouquet from our staffs. Thank you, sir, and thank you, madam. And on this auspicious occasion, I speak on behalf of all these gathered here to wish both of you countless years of togetherness and good health. Thank you. Our deepest regard to respective Additional Chief Secretary, Principal Secretaries, and Secretaries from Department of ITBT of Government of Karnataka for wholehearted support. Thank you, Mr. Vivek Kulkarni, sir. Here, thank you, sir, for coming. Mr. Vidya Shankar, thank you, sir, for coming. Mr. I.S.N. Prasad, Dr. Ramana Reddy, sir, thank you for coming. And Dr. Ekrup Kaur, thanks for coming. So, and other officers from you who have helped us to build this infrastructure, and in particular research and development in IIIT-Bangalore. This support helped us to build the next generation of workforce in niche areas of technologies for industries, academia, innovation, and entrepreneurships. All of your help is a great achievement to this institution and also the industry. Thank you again, sir, for coming and helping us. And also the Madam Dr. Ekrup is here. Thank you. We also want to thank e-governance divisions of various ministries like Finance, Justice, ITBT, Home, Health, CG, Ministry of Electronics and IT, SCRB, and other departments for giving us an opportunity to work with them to serve the nation. Wanted to thank the officers and honorable justices of highest courts of this country who worked with IIIT-Bangalore faculty members to develop a lot of e-governance product and also the infrastructures. Thanks to NIMHANS, IISc, IITs, and IIITs, IIM Bangalore, and other institutions for collaborating with IIIT-B. We warm welcome extends both to the current and former members of the governing body and the Senate. Thank you very much for your presence and guidance till now. Their individual contributions have been instrumental in maintaining steadfast commitment to seamless, value-driven governance. Over the course of 25 annual general body meetings, AGMs we have done, exactly we are 25th year, so 20th AGM is over. 91 governing body meetings, 93 Senate meetings have been held since our inception. These meticulous deliberations have laid the foundation of our enduring success. I also cordially welcome our esteemed former and present faculty members whose steadfast commitment to both world-class teaching and conducting top-notch theoretical and translatable research not only brought the initial vision to the fulfillment, but also played a pivotal role in propelling IIIT-B its present eminence. I also would like to also offer a humble and heartfelt welcome to the non-teaching staff and encompassing the both past and present individuals, as well as the profound administration, including the former and current deans, registrars, coordinators, warden, chief finance officers, and chief administrative officers of IIIT-Bangalore. A heartfelt gratitude and affection go out to our vast alumni community, numbering over 4,000 strong from our on-campus programs and 21,000 plus from our online programs. In many ways, you serve as our ambassadors, embodying the principles of knowledge we have imparted on putting them into practice and distinction. Your remarkable success and prominence with the industry, academia, as an entrepreneur stands as a testament to our collective achievements. Thank you, alumni. It is heartening to see that some of you have not only excelled in your professional journey, but also been an integral part of our governing body. Mr. Milind Prilokar, as an alumni representative in our governing body, Mr. Gautam Hegde, Mr. Uday Hegde, and Mr. Khadim. Most of them are here. So I am delighted to welcome these esteemed individuals along with Mr. Hem Chandra, the President of Alumni Association, who was graced with their presence today. My welcome also extends to our present students and dedicated members of the Student Activity Councils who are here both perpetuate the legacy of the IIIT-B and draw strength from the education we provide. Your presence is a testament to the continuum excellence of our institution. I want to conclude that institutions of this stature dedicated to build the next generation of the nation cannot be possible without the support of various government departments, industry, funding agencies, and kind well-wishers. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all of them. We look forward to everyone's continuing support and blessings as we begin our journey towards Golden Jubilee and beyond from here. Swagatam, one and all. Namaskara.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome and kind words. Let's delve into a captivating piece of IIIT-B's history. Our very first course, the Postgraduate Program in Information Technology, PGDIT, was launched in 1999. It attracted a staggering 5,000 applicants, including inquiries from the USA, Scandinavia, Russia, Nepal, and Malaysia. On August 22, 1999, around 3,000 candidates gathered at 9 locations in Bengaluru for a common admission exam. Following rigorous selection, 136 fortunate individuals joined the first batch, and classes for the first batch commenced at the ITPL campus on September 15, 1999.
We are excited to announce that from today, IIIT-Bangalore would be having an anthem which would serve as a unifying symbol for our campus community, instilling pride, a sense of belonging, and shared values among students, faculty, staff, and alumni. It would also motivate and remind us of our institution's core principles and mission. Scripted around our motto, Jnanam Uttamam, knowledge is supreme, and our pillars of education, research, innovation, and entrepreneurship, the anthem is written in Sanskrit by Vidushi Srimati Dharmashri Iyengar. We kindly request our chairman, Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, and our director, Professor Debabrata Das, to unveil the IIIT-B anthem. Following the unveiling, we will play the video of the anthem for the very first time for everyone's viewing pleasure.
अन्विष्यते क्षणे क्षणे नित्यनूतनम् अन्विष्यते क्षणे क्षणे नित्यनूतनम् नवनवीना विभिन्नरूप ज्ञानमुत्तमम् सुज्ञानमुत्तमम् अन्विष्यते क्षणे क्षणे नित्यनूतनम् क्षणे क्षणे नित्यनूतनम् तन्त्रज्ञाननायकैः प्रसार्यते अवाप्यते तन्त्रज्ञाननायकैः प्रसार्यते अवाप्यते विराजते क्षणे क्षणे नित्यनूतनम् जयतु ज्ञानमुत्तमम् स्वतन्त्रज्ञानमुत्तमम् जयतु ज्ञानमुत्तमम् स्वतन्त्रज्ञानमुत्तमम् सदा जगति विजयते ज्ञानमुत्तमम् विज्ञानमुत्तमम् क्षणे क्षणे नित्यनूतनम्
Wasn't that an absolutely stimulating experience? Our adrenaline surged with those inspiring lyrics and captivating visuals.
Absolutely, Arhan. I'm proud to share that IIIT-B was ahead of its curve from day one. On December 1st, 1999, IIIT-B welcomed the first ever iBook sold by Apple India for student use. In that same year, at a time when technology was just budding in India and IIIT-B was in its temporary ado with limited classrooms and faculty in the ITPL campus, the institute introduced a groundbreaking concept: video-based classroom delivery. Imagine this: one group in a classroom received live instruction from the professor, while the other group watched the same lesson via live video relay. All thanks to a cutting edge video multiplexer. How cool was that in 1999?
Next, let's extend a warm welcome to our Dean of Academics, Professor Chandrasekhar Ramanathan, who is poised to enlighten us about the remarkable academic journey our institute has undertaken thus far.
Very, very good morning to all of you. It's indeed a great privilege and honor to speak in front of you and share with you the 25 years academic journey and try to condense it in 10 minutes. That's the time I have been given. I'll try to do my best to cover all the highlights of academics of IIIT-Bangalore. I would like to begin by telling a little bit about the IIIT-B Senate. IIIT-B Senate is the highest academic body which approves all the academic programs, every little academic activity and every student's academic graduation is verified and approved by the Academic Senate. We have had some remarkable people who have guided us in our Senate over the period of time. As chairman of the Senate, now I would like to extend a warm thanks to our former chairman of Senate, Professor S. Sadagopan, and the current chairman, Professor Devabrata Das, as for the Senate. The Senate, by design, includes not just the senior faculty members of the institution, but we have very eminent external experts as part of the Senate. IIIT-B has been very fortunate to have some of the most eminent people who have served in the Senate and guided us over a period of time. So we have had Professor Rajaraman, Professor Murthy, we have had Professor Mahabala, and then Professor Dr. Anandan from Microsoft, Mr. Mohan from IBM, Professor Kriti Ramamritam, and Dr. Ramani. So Mukul warm thanks to our former chairman of Senate, Professor S. Sadagopan, and the current chairman, Professor Devabrata Das, as for the Senate. The Senate, by design, includes not just the senior faculty members of the institution, but we have very eminent external experts as part of the Senate. IIIT-B has been very fortunate to have some of the most eminent people who have served in the Senate and guided us over a period of time. So we have had Professor Rajaraman, Professor Murthy, we have had Professor Mahabala, and then Professor Dr. Anandan from Microsoft, Mr. Mohan from IBM, Professor Kriti Ramamritam, and Dr. Ramani. So Mukul Saxena from Siemens, so Mr. Injay Rao, and the currently serving members, Professor Prabhu, who has been steadfastly supporting us all for, I don't know for how long, for several decades, at least Professor S. Nagarajan, and Dr. Roland Haas, and Mr. Nachiket Moore. So I would like to extend a very warm thanks to all of those external Senate members who have guided us throughout these years. I'll give a quick highlight of the academic, IIIT-B academic programs. I'll begin with the Master of Technology programs. So, we started with an MTech in IT from 1999 to 2017. So, when I say 1999, yes, we did start with the PGDIT, but then that was eventually given the equivalent status of a master's program, Master of Technology, with an intake of about 150 students. And then we introduced a new program on electronic system design. So that kind of coincided with the establishment of the Center for Embedded Systems, supported by Government of Karnataka. So that started with an intake of about 30 students. That was our first attempt to enter into the semiconductor VLSI world. Then we started the MTech in Computer Science and Engineering, which is essentially from a nomenclature perspective, we wanted to move into the mainstream nomenclature. And MTech in Computer Science and Engineering was started in 2018, and it's an ongoing program with an intake of about 180 students currently. We also have the MTech in Electronics and Communication Engineering, which essentially the MTech in ESD got transformed with an addition of communications as an additional area that we want to work. So that is another ongoing program. So we have, I would like to thank our coordinators. All the programs are managed by the program coordinators who are faculty members, Professor Muralidhara, who served as the program coordinator, and currently Professor Sachit Rao is the program coordinator. Thank you. The integrated MTech program was started in 2012. This is a 5-year dual degree program. In fact, I fondly remember that was started in 2012, and I was the first coordinator of that particular program. And Mr. Narayan Murthy sir had come to deliver the inaugural address for that first batch. Thank you, sir. So that is the program we started in information technology along with the MTech in IT at that point in time, with an intake of we started with about 90 students, and gradually we increased it to 120. Then in 2015, we, again, from a nomenclature perspective, we moved to the computer science and engineering and electronics and communication engineering programs with an intake of current intake of about 120 students for the computer science and engineering and 60 students for the electronics and communication engineering. So this is a 5-year dual degree program, integrated program. So the coordinators, after me, it was Professor Jyotsna Bapat, and then Professor Madhav Rao, and currently Professor Ashish. Thank you. And in 2015, we also started an interdisciplinary program called as MSc in Digital Society, that was essentially aimed at bridging the gap between the development of computing solutions versus the appropriate ways of using it and utilizing it and applying it in the society. So that program was started in 2015, and the coordinators were Professor Amit Prakash and Professor Vidisha. We have 2 research programs. So we have Doctor of Philosophy and Master of Science by Research. So our research admissions, we generally have standardized into 7 research domains, basically which that also reflects the broad domains in which all our faculty members collectively work in one or more of those areas. So the program coordinators, starting with Professor Jaya Nair, Professor Manisha Kulkarni, and currently it's Professor Meenakshi D'Souza. I'll give you some more numbers associated with these programs. So the PhD was started in 2005, and we have graduated about 67 students so far. So these are the only programs which have a part-time as well as the full-time students. And currently we have about 100 students who are enrolled in our PhD programs. The other research program is the Master of Science by Research program, so which we started, almost immediately after they started the PhD program in 2006, and we have graduated about 111 students so far. Even that program has got part-time and full-time students. So currently we have about 81 students who are enrolled in this particular program. So I just want to quickly give a glimpse of the award of the degrees over the period of times. For a period of years, we started with about 112, 120, that kind of numbers. Slowly we settled down about 150 students. Then suddenly in 2015 odd, you'll see spike. That's the first batch of the integrated MTech and digital society students graduate. So in the most recent convocation, we had crossed 300 students in the year 2021. And currently, the most recent one was the highest with 332 students. And totally, we have about 4,237 graduates in all these convocations. So all our students get placed, and I would like to express deep my gratitude to all the companies, industry people who have employed our graduates. And so that's a whole range of industry spanning across multiple sectors. Thank you very much again to all the industry support for our placements. Thank you. Briefly, I would like to give a quick update on our continuing professional education. so which is coordinated by Professor V. Sridhar as the faculty coordinator. So we started offering programs for working professional on campus way back in 2014. We used to conduct the induction program for industries like Target, Lowe's, even we have done it for Government of Karnataka, government officials. And subsequently, the first ever, IIITB's first ever online PG certification program was started in 2016. And the broad areas where we have been offering these programs include data science, AI, ML, software development, cybersecurity, and UI, UX. I just want to give you some numbers in terms of some of the flagship programs. The data science program and the machine learning program are the flagship programs, as you can see. So we have, together we have had more than 20,000 enrollments in these programs. And the significant highlight is the very, very high completion rates. So when we talk about MOOCs, typically the completion rates typically is in the single digits or even sub-single digits, but here we have managed to achieve about 87%, 73% in both these programs. This is all a testimony to all our faculty members who have been doing that. A quick highlight on our international presence in terms of the academics. So with the government of Myanmar, jointly with the government of Myanmar, we established the Myanmar Institute of Information Technology, roughly along the lines of how IIIT-Bangalore was established. And Professor Raja Subramanian, who is in our midst, acted as the director during this entire period when we were doing the handholding in Mandalay, Myanmar. So we also have subsequently completed the mentorship both online, on-site, as well as the remote, and completed the handover. So now MIIT is operating completely independently without any direct IIITB support. We also have a MOU with Government of Indonesia, which is a very interesting thing. So they have, the Ministry of Communication and Information Technology have nominated their own employees, given them 2 years leave to attend, to come to IIIT Bangalore from Indonesia, spend 2 years to complete the MSc Digital Society program, and then go back and serve. So just to close, to look ahead, I think from an academics point of view, there are a lot of things that are changes that are happening. So now we are looking at holistic computing education. If you look at it, the entire focus of national education policy has been on encouraging interdisciplinarity and multidisciplinarity. So we are trying to embrace these aspects of it without losing our core focus of computing. In other words, how do you bring computing into multiple disciplines is going to be our focus going forward. And from a student perspective, we are looking at extending a 360-degree experiential learning for our students, right? So if you look at the traditional, at least the state of the art, where from an education point of view, we rely primarily only on internship, which are at a fixed point in time. So we are looking at providing experiential learning throughout their stay as part of the courses, thanks to many of the centers that we have established, very large centers, which Professor Srinivas as Dean R&D will talk about. So we are trying to integrate education and research as part of this experiential learning. And finally, with so much happening in the online education mode, so we also want to explore and be open to creating path-breaking models of education, which is not confined to people, for say 2 years, 3 years, and so on. So this is essentially, we want to be the place to enable lifelong learning for people, not just when they are staying in IIITB, but even after graduation, even when they are working professionals anywhere. So this is something we want to make a difference to the lives, to the educational lives of all the people, all the professionals throughout their life, not just during their stay at IIIT Bangalore. Thank you.
That was a very lucid description of our journey, sir. Thank you.
In the first year of inception, Backend Bangalore became the first company to be incubated at IIITB. Dr. Gautam Hegde, a distinguished board member and an alumnus of IIITB who is here today, conceived the idea in January 2000, and it was officially incorporated in July of the same year. The startup's business plan even made its mark in Stanford University's business plan competition, the Global Entrepreneur Challenge 2000.
Ladies and gentlemen, IIIT-Bangalore's mantra from day one has been to impart research-led education in order to cater not only to the current needs of the time, but also prepare the graduates for the future. I am sure that you would be eager to learn about the translatable research landscape at IIITB. We have the privilege of hearing from our Dean of Research and Development, Professor Srinath Srinivasa. Let us extend a cordial welcome and soak up on this enlightening flashback.
Namaskara and very good morning to all of you. It's my privilege and honor to be here presenting the journey of the research journey of IIITB over the last 25 years. Of course, I'll try to finish all of this in 5 to 8 minutes. So I really will not be able to cover all the major milestones that we have achieved. So my apologies in advance for any major events that we would have missed, but you will see a gist of the kind of our journey that has happened through the last 25 years. So as our students mentioned, research has been in our DNA right from the beginning. Rather than being a training shop, we were conceived as primarily a thought leader, to be a thought leader in information technology. So starting right from the beginning, the programs were conceived to be of a postgraduate kind of nature. And for a long time, we only had postgraduate programs. And only in 2012, we started the IIM Tech program, which also includes the undergraduate program. So research has been in our DNA, and even when we were starting with the rented campus in ITPL, there was a separate research area that this was called Focus Labs, which is the slightly grainy picture that you see over there. This was part and parcel of our campus, and quite a few many innovative projects were actually executed as part of our Focus Labs in ITPL. We have been continuing to receive very strong industry support right from day one. In fact, many of the focus labs were funded by different kinds of industries, IBM, HP, quite a few middleware kind of research that were happening. One of the biggest and one of the first major research projects to be funded by an external agency was the Planet Lab project, which was funded by Intel Corporation. So this was a worldwide laboratory or a test bed set up to test and benchmark distributed computing protocols. And I'm happy to also say that IIITB was the first Planet Lab node in India to be set up. After this, IIT Bombay set up the second Planet Lab node, and Planet Lab basically ran for 20 years, and now it is closed down, but some of the major research papers on distributed computing came out of Planet Lab, the Planet Lab network that has been found. In addition, we have had several other major industry contributors, HP, IBM, Cisco, GE, Mistral, and others. HP Internet Multimedia Systems Lab was another major lab which was set up with industry support. As the students also mentioned, research has been pursued with a very translatable focus, and right from day one we were keen to ensure that research does not happen in a vacuum or an ivory tower, and it is firmly entrenched in the business and social ecosystem of the country. So in this spirit, back in Bangalore was our first startup that was set up. Dr. Gautam Hegde is here, who was one of the founders of Back in Bangalore. In fact, as the story goes, Back in Bangalore was a subsidiary of the company Backend, which was in UK. But this became so big that they actually acquired the UK company themselves. And so they made several pioneering strides, and I'm sure this deserves a round of applause for Dr. Gautam and team for this. In 2005, we received our university status, deemed university status from the UGC. And this enabled us to start formal research degree programs. So we started both MS by research as well as PhD programs in 2005. And our first PhD graduate graduated in the convocation of 2008. You see Dr. Ashok Talukdar receiving the degree from Mr. Narayan Murthy, our chairman at that time. And since then, we have graduated quite a few PhD scholars from there. So Dr. Ashok Talukdar was the first graduate as of 2008. Mr. Ganesh Perumal became the first MS by research graduate to graduate in the convocation of 2010. So initially, much of our research happened in silos, in the sense each of the faculty members kind of had their own labs and research groups. But by about 2012 or so, we started congregating together to build bigger research centers, multi-faculty centers, and primarily increase our impact in terms of research outputs and stakeholder impact and so on. So the first research center to start was CITAP, Center for IT in Public Policy. Professor Amit is right here. He is one of the pioneers of this center. So CITAP basically looked at policy challenges that arise from technological innovation. And currently there are about 8 faculty members who are working in the center, and they've made very major progress in and major impacts in different kinds of policy research, both at the center and the state, as well as in the international arena. In 2017, MINRO was the second major center that was started. MINRO stands for Machine Intelligence and Robotics Center. This was established to focus on cutting-edge research in machine intelligence, robotics, with an aim to drive innovative solutions that address issues of the state of Karnataka and the nation. So this was funded by the government of Karnataka. Professor R.C., who was, Professor Chandrasekhar is the PI for this project. Currently, some of the major and active research centers I've just listed. We do also have a few more centers in the offing, some of which are still gestating, so I've not included them in this list. So we have CITAP, MINRO, eHealth Research Center, which was started in 2015. COMET is the Communication and Enterprise Research Center started by Professor Das, our current director, which is one of the few technology innovator hubs in the nation, started as part of the National Mission for Interdisciplinary Cyber-Physical Systems, NMICPS mission. MOSIP is yet another major project. Professor Rajgopalan is right here. He's heading the MOSIP project. So MOSIP stands for Modular Open Source Identity Project. This is the open source equivalent of Aadhaar, which provides a very modular solution for digital identity and has been deployed in several countries across the world already. So even as we speak, Philippines and Morocco are already using MOSIP. With about 5 to 7 more countries which are in different stages of rollout of MOSIP. Emphasis C3 was one of the first centers started purely from CSR grants, which is the Corporate Social Responsibility grants. So C3 stands for Center for Cognitive Computing Research. This center again has 7 different faculty members working on several areas of cognitive computing. Funded solely through CSR. And CDPI is the latest center that to be started, and which is headed by the architect of Aadhaar, Dr. Pramod Verma. CDPI stands for Center for Digital Public Infrastructure, which is rolling out research on areas like UPI and DigiLockers and all those which are basically digital public goods and using digital technology as a public enterprise or a public infrastructure for that. So IIIT research has also resulted in several high impacts, not just academic impact in terms of journals and conferences. We have IIIT faculty members have published in several top leading journals and conferences, and have also won several major awards. In addition, there have also been direct stakeholder impacts in several cases. You see on your right is the COVID-19 dashboard. So during the peak of the COVID pandemic, the Karnataka state ran this COVID-19 dashboard, which actively tracked cases and diffusion across the state, which was developed by IIIT-B team. Similarly, we have IIIT-B Comet. I mentioned already about the country's largest technology incubator hub in next generation telecommunications. EHRC, which is in collaboration with NIMHANS, is also running the country's one of the country's largest network of telephonic support for mental health issues. This is called Telemanas, which was announced as part of the budget speech by our Honorable Finance Minister in the budget of 2022. Similarly, Vision Empower, which is a startup created by one of our alumna, Ms. Vidya, basically aimed to create STEM solutions accessible to visually impaired people. And she also won the President of India Award for her pioneering work. IIIT-B continues to assist the government of Karnataka in various ways in terms of its e-governance as well as the planning department. We run a data lake in order to provide data-related support for decision making in the planning department. IIIT-B has also hosted several major conferences. I will not go through the whole list. I'll just mention the World Wide Web Conference. World Wide Web Conference, which is now called the Web Conference, which is the flagship conference about the World Wide Web across the world. And I'm happy to also report that IIIT-B played a pivotal role in bringing this major conference to India, and this has been the only time it has come to India so far. So we pitched for this conference in 2005. Sadly, we lost out to China in 2005. So this conference moves between the US, Europe, and Asia in alternating years. But we lost out to China because Bangalore could not accommodate such a big event. We didn't have a big enough convention center. But we again pitched for it and brought it back to India in 2011, and it was held in Hyderabad. And Professor Sargopan was the general chair for WWW 2011. And IIIT-B faculty members continue to publish in high-ranking journals as well as conferences. We have published over 600 papers over the last 5 years in very top-rated journals and conferences. We have also raised research funding to the tune of about 81 crores over the last 5 years. So the road ahead, now we have seven research domains and faculty members working on different areas. So I just did a quick poll to kind of assess the kind of open problems that faculty members are addressing. And these are some active research that are happening. These are some areas of active research in IIIT-B. Quantum computing and communications, analog VLSI design, variable computing, medical robotics, 6G, 5G is already old, so 6G and next generation communications, digital public goods, digital public infrastructures, legal informatics, autonomous vehicles, responsible AI, Indian language computing, Bharatiya Bhasha computing, sustainability, sustainable systems engineering, hardware for AI, ML, processor design, and ethics by design. So these are some of the, a quick sample of the kind of active research that are happening in this. So with that, I would like to end my note, and we continue to seek your blessings and well wishes for continuing our research activities.
Thank you, Professor, for sharing such an enriching research journey of IIIT-B. The convocation for the first graduating batch of students was held on February 4, 2001 at IIIT-B's campus in ITPL. Professor V. Rajaraman, IBM Research Professor of IT, delivered the convocation address, while the then Karnataka Chief Minister, Honorable Shri S.M. Krishna, was the guest of honor. 136 students received the PGDIT, which was equivalent to the master's degree, from Mr. N.R. Narayan Murthy, then chairman of Infosys, who was also the chairman of the governing body of IIIT-B, and Professor S. Sadagopan as first director. We are fortunate to have both of them amidst us in the gathering today.
Get ready for an exciting segment of today's event. the unveiling of IIIT-B's Silver Jubilee Coffee Table book, which has a wealth of information like the one you just spoke. A remarkable endeavor capturing 25 years of IIIT-B's journey with stunning visuals and compelling narratives. Let's welcome our director, Professor Debabrata Das, to escort the three chairmen, Mr. N. Vishwanathan, Padma Vibhushan Mr. N.R. Narayan Murthy, and Padma Vibhushan Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan to release the Coffee Table book.
A heartfelt thank you to our esteemed chairman and director. Now it's time to honor the pillars of IIIT-B, the stalwarts who have contributed to the institute's growth. Let's shine the spotlight on these leaders and visionaries who embraced the idea of establishing a higher education hub in IT, now renowned internationally. Our tribute begins with the felicitation of our two former chairmen and our current chairman. I call upon the director and the current deans to come up on stage and do the honors. First up, Mr. N. Vishwanathan, a retired IAS officer who served as IIIT-B's chairman from 1998 to 2000, playing a pivotal role in bringing the institute into existence. It is to his credit that being in the helm of the industrial development of Karnataka, as its principal secretary, he envisioned the structure of the institute, its autonomy, governance, and gave the government push for grants and initial infrastructure. Next, let us extend our gratitude to Padma Vibhushan, Mr. N.R. Narayan Murthy, the co-founder of Infosys and Catamaran, who chaired the governing body from 2000 to 2012. He served as a steadfast pillar, providing invaluable guidance during IIIT-B's critical formative years and played an immeasurable role in nurturing the institute's well-being and growth. Next, let's offer a special salute to Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan, the co-founder of Infosys and Axelar Ventures, and our current chairman and guiding force to us. Your inspirational leadership and unwavering commitment have played a pivotal role in shaping IIIT-B's remarkable journey thus far. As the saying goes, there is no substitute for hearing directly from those who've steered the ship. Respected Vishwanathan sir, can we share your valuable thoughts on this occasion, please?
Namaskara to everybody. I was not prepared for this penalty. Speaking without preparations is certainly a crime. As Sir Winston Churchill used to say, if I have to speak for an hour, I don't need any preparation. But if I am required to speak only for 10 minutes, I'll have to prepare for more than 2 hours. Now, I'm told that I'm supposed to take only 2 minutes of your time, and thank you for that. But I would like to say something about the very concept of IIIT-B. The provocation for this came from none other than Mr. Narayana Murthy. Right. I'll be very brief. He is the one who said, in Karnataka state was producing about 30 to 40,000 engineering graduates every year, the largest number at that time in the country. And he made a comment, Mr. Vishwanathan, all these engineering graduates, when they come out of their colleges, they are just not employable. So that comment struck me, and I said, Mr. Narayanamurthy, if you feel so, then I think you should do something about it. And he said, Mr. Vishwanathan, we don't have the resources at this time. I'm talking about 1997. And it is for the state government to do something about making these engineering graduates employable, particularly in the IT industry. Then that was the provocation for me to think about it, and then I could conceive of this IIIT-B as an institution of higher education in information technology, a specialist body, and I also said that it should not be a government institution. It should have its own academic and financial autonomy, and that is how this was got registered as a society under the Societies Registration Act. And in fact, I requested Mr. Narayanamurthy at that time itself, Mr. Narayanamurthy, you should become the first chairman of the governing body. But he said, no, Mr. Vishwanathan, please, so long as you are the industry secretary, you be there, then I will take over. That's what happened. But before that, the concept was made public in the IT industrial promotion policy of 1997. So the very institution of IIIT-B finds a mention in that policy, just approved by the cabinet at that time. And this idea was fortunately implemented by Professor Sadagopan, the only person who has been responsible for the very translation of the idea into action was done by him. Though I have a grievance still, I told him today also. The first batch of people, students for this institution, I had requested Mr. Professor Sadagopan, why don't you recruit 100 and 250 people? Then Professor said, sir, we do not have the faculty to take care of all these people. So I told him even that was the only grievance against Professor Sadagopan I had. But anyway, fortunately, this institution has grown up so well, internationally famous. And in fact, within a few years of its establishment, the Planning Commission, the then chairman of the Planning Commission, called it an institution of national importance. That was the first appreciation given by the government of India for this institution. Anyway, I am glad that I have been privileged to conceive of this idea. So the total credit for this goes to God Almighty, who gave me the vision to set up an institution like this. The second credit goes to Mr. Narayanamurthy. Third one to Professor Sadagopan. I'm also happy, actually exceedingly happy to witness this 25th anniversary celebration also. And thank you for inviting me for this function. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I now request Padma Vibhushan, Mr. Narayan Murthy, sir, to kindly speak a few words on IIIT-Bangalore's 25-year journey.
Well, first of all, congratulations on an extraordinary achievement of this venerable institution. Thanks to Sri Vishwanathan, Sri Inamdar, who is not here today. He was the minister who worked so hard, Sadagopan and I know this very well, to get for us this wonderful campus. Of course, Sri Chris Kupalakrishnan, Sri Sadagopan, Sri Devabrata Das, the faculty, and most importantly, the students. I'm very happy that you have progressed so far, but it is only people like you who have demonstrated that you people are made for plausibly impossible achievements. Therefore, my request to every one of you is to start that wonderful marathon today to ensure that IIIT Bangalore is in the top 20 higher educational institutions in the world. It may seem somewhat difficult at this point of time, but we would all do well to remember the words of John F. Kennedy, who, while inaugurating the moon landing program in the early 60s, he said, "We want to send a man to the moon not because it is easy, but because it is difficult." Sure enough, on 19th of July, 1969, Neil Armstrong and the other two colleagues of his, well, one colleague of his landed on the moon, and Mike Collins was still circling the moon. So similarly, I do believe that a set of determined, hardworking, aspirational individuals, intellectuals, can indeed achieve what most of us think is impossible. I have seen, whether it is the freedom struggle, whether it is the progress of the institution in front of IIIT-B or this own institution, it all happened only because people performed it day after day after day. And in performing this, they had to have high aspirations. They had to work very, very hard, away from families, making huge sacrifices to bring up the institution, and being very disciplined. I have not seen any other solution to this institution and our country becoming a great nation and increasing its per capita GDP from $2,300, which makes us a country that has to progress a lot, to be a developed country, or at least a middle-income country of $10,000 per capita. That requires tremendous aspiration, tremendous determination, tremendous sacrifice, tremendous hard work. Of course, when I say hard work, I mean you have to use your time productively. There's no point in coming to the office, sitting idle, drinking cups of tea. That's not what I mean. When I say hard work, it means we'll have to use our time very productively. I have no doubt at all that the wonderful director, as a chairman, the director, the faculty, and the students of this institution will make this institution an institution in the top 20 of Shanghai rankings. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sirs, for taking us on this fantastic trip down the memory lane. Next, I would like to mention a very special person, Padma Bhushan Srimati Sudha Murthy, who has been an extraordinary well-wisher and supporter of IIIT-B, for IIIT-B's libraries, women's hostel, Ramanujan building, and many more. She also served as a member of the governing body. Unfortunately, ma'am couldn't be here today due to some prior commitments. IIIT-B deeply values her contributions to this institute. It is a special moment to honor our society signatory members. May I request Mr. B.V. Naidu, who has been a member of our governing body since our inception, and Mr. Ram Mohan Rao to come up on stage. I request our director and dean faculty to do the honors. I request Mr. B.V. Naidu to say a few words.
Sri Narayan Murthy sir, Chris Gopal Krishnan, and the director, Professor Sadagopan, and the Professor Das. It's a great privilege for me to be part of this celebration because I've seen working with this institute right from the beginning. When there was no IT department in the government, Mr. Viswanathan N. Viswanathan, I worked very closely with him in establishing this institute, including as a part of the search committee to, look at the Professor Sadagopan and convinced him to come to this institute. Since then, I've been part and parcel of this institute, and great nostalgic memories how this institution has been built. And our Mr. Narayan Murthy always has an aspirational goals. He used to set those aspirational goals for the institute, and the institute could able to achieve that. That is how we could become a premier institute internationally. And also today, I'm happy to see that he set a new target to the institute to become a top 20 institutes. I think his aspirational targets are always achievable. That will motivate everybody, motivate the Professor, the Professor Das and all the faculty members and then governing body, etc. I think soon you will achieve that. I'm happy to be part of the journey, whatever I could, and I'll be supporting this institute. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I also request Mr. Ram Mohan Rao to say a few words.
Distinguished dignitaries, it's indeed a great privilege and honor to be here. It was almost 25 years ago that I think a little more than that maybe, I was asked to release Sadagopan, who was our IT chairperson and so on. It was very difficult for us to agree, but we said this is more in terms of a Karnataka goal and also national goal, and we need to do something about information technology. So we had to, regrettably, I guess, I thought that we have to give him leave, although we are losing one great individual, but it's good for the state and Karnataka. But I must also say that, I always felt when I became the director of IIM-Bangalore that IT, software was going to play an important role in the country, and Karnataka was going to lead the way. In fact, we were the first ones to start a program, postgraduate diploma in software project management, soon after I became the director. And of course, IT was part of it, but I also knew that technology was going to play an important role. And video conferencing those days was the things we attempted. Video conferencing those days, internet was not there and so on. So we tried a lot of things, but I'm really very happy that Sadagopan was able to bring this institute to great heights, and he devoted a lot of time and effort. And I want to congratulate him and the other members of the group that have done such a wonderful job. And as was mentioned by Mr. B.V. Naidu, I think you have new goals now, new heights are set by Mr. Narayan Murthy. Always sets difficult but achievable goals, not unachievable. He always sets difficult but achievable goals. I'm sure IIIT will become. But first, I think I should say that it should become number one in India itself. I was told that IIIT Hyderabad is ahead in terms of research and so on, but I think it should become number one or even, and that's not sufficient. You have to have, actually, it doesn't matter whether they're number one or two. I must just take it back, because if you're in the top, it's good. So, okay, so it should be in the top. Number one or two doesn't matter, because these ratings are always subjective in a sense. But within the top 20, I think is an excellent goal. That's why I said don't aim for, say we have to be number 5 or number 1 or something. Within the top 20, I think is a good goal. I wish all the good luck to the new director and all others. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you, sirs. It's fascinating to note that the flagship program, PGDIT, was already aligned with the MTech standards. In February 2005, upon the institute attaining recognition as a deemed university, students from the PGDIT batch of 2003 were conferred with the MTech degrees during the 5th convocation of 2005. This marked them as the pioneering batch to receive MTech degrees. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor that we invite Professor S. Sadagopan to the stage. As our former director, he served for 22 years out of our 25-year Silver Jubilee journey. Professor S. Sadagopan, who assumed the role of director on June 3, 1999, played a pivotal role in the institution's evolution. We humbly request our director, Professor Debabrata Das, and our deans to bestow the well-deserved honor upon Professor S. Sadagopan.
On this momentous occasion, we are eager to delve into the depth of your association with IIIT-Bangalore. On behalf of everyone, I would request you, sir, to share a few words on this occasion of IIIT-B's Silver Jubilee.
Good morning, friends. So it's a very interesting moment. So in fact, the day I handed over charge, I actually used the term, this is a Kanyadan moment. So I'm repeating again. So, like after the wedding of the daughter, you normally don't go. So when you come, you get little emotional. So that's what it is. So I will take about 5 minutes. It's important because I will not repeat most of the things. There is no point repeating. But I think these are all occasions for all also to share some stories which most of you may not know. First and foremost, this trio called Vivek Kulkarni, Raman Reddy, and Naidu Garu have actually changed the planet. They changed Bangalore, they changed Karnataka, they changed India, and now it has changed the world. I don't know how many of you know the position of IT secretary in a government started in Bangalore, then moved to Delhi, now it is there in the United States. Okay, give them a big hand. Raman Reddy moved to many departments but came back. He retired 2 months back, IT, okay. And Naidu Garu has been reinventing himself in so many forms. He was an entrepreneur, government, out of government, VC, but he's always there. I think that is interesting. But I think you should know one story. Let me start with this. Dr. Kalam, he was our convocation chief guest. And it's more interesting stuff. He was also the chief guest for World Wide Web conference, which we brought to this country. And he did such a good job. He came prepared. He gave an excellent talk. My US academics were telling, hey, Sadagopan, can I ask you something special? Can we have a barter? I said, what is it? Can we exchange our presidents? So that's what he did. And more interesting stuff is, in spite of all that, he had time for IIIT students for an exclusive picture in Hyderabad. Third, he told me, Shadagopan, I want you to come to Rashtrapati Bhavan. I want you to meet me in my office. So nice, I took Dr. Das also along. And you know, Rashtrapati Bhavan, there's a protocol. You cannot carry your camera, and the cameraman listens only to the president. If he says yes, you get a picture, otherwise you don't get a picture. So we got many pictures. I think that is Dr. Kalam. The second person, he will be up in the air, he's in the heavens, he will be blessing us. Mr. Inamdar, he was a minister, but he was attending meetings after meetings, everywhere saying, I am accompanying Professor Shadagopal. So I was such a small guy, but he was a full minister. And he came to Delhi, he kind of argued with people. Just to get the story, the place where we are all there, which was actually Karnataka Telecom Limited, which was only about 5 acres of land. And then it has gone bankrupt. So Mr. Vivek Kulkarni is very nice. He said, Shadagopan, I promise to give you land, I will give you, take it. But when you go there, you realize outstanding is 92 crores. So I go back to him and he said, I can give you 5 crores. But thanks to the magic of Inamdar, we paid 5 crores and got this land. And I can tell you special, Mr. Raman Reddy was transferred on that day. Those days there was no UPI, it was still check. Raman Reddy said, Shadagopan, do come and take the check. I want to hand it over before I move to the other department. So 105 hours, I went to Vidhan Sauda, collected the check. Okay? And that is what Inamdar is all about. Okay? So Mr. Narayan Murthy said, impossible things are possible. 92 crores to 5 crores, we got it. And another impossible stuff happens. Mr. Vidyashankar quietly says that I will do something for you. He got another 5 acres. But most important stuff, this 5 acres is contiguous. Most of you would not even know that these are 2 pieces of land, but they're all nicely integrated. And Mr. Vidyashankar went to the extent of not only giving it free, he did some little mystery. I did not even have to pay for registration charge. Okay. So that is the beauty. That is how people have helped. And of course, so many leaders, Mr. Krishna to R.V. Deshpande, Jaswant Singh, Pramod Mahajan, so many people have helped. And Mr. B.K. Das, Jere, Radhakrishna, C. Somnath, he was the officer on special duty. He actually did so much work. And thanks to Mr. B.K. Das, we got Sai Gardens. We have 5 people from the first batch. You realize what a great place. One decision of Mr. B.K. Das. But let me go to something else. Professor Rajaraman was so kind. So many people from IIMB, and the first batch was so lucky. They were taught by professors from both IIMB and IISc. So it's interesting. But there was University of Kaiserslautern, Professor Kunz. He not only took our students for project, he used to come all the way from Germany, spend exactly 48 hours, interview the students, and then take them. And some of them had done exceeding level. One of them completed the PhD. She heads the research at ABB here. Okay, what an amazing stuff. And 3 professors from 3 institutes gave a lot of strength to us. One is Professor P.C.P. Bhatt from IIT Delhi, Professor H.N. Mahabala from IIT Madras, and Professor Prabhu, who is already with us from IIT Kanpur. So the outside world, these are the people who actually carried conviction that IIIT-B is an outstanding institute. And 2 people, Professor Narahari from IISc and Professor P.K. Pitke from TIFR. So this institute had a tradition. For 22 years, every selection committee had an IEEE fellow as an expert. Thanks to Pitke and Narahari, right? And of course, there was a very special person, late Professor Ken Keniston from MIT. I kind of discovered him, he discovered me. We became such close friends. So many things we did. He actually stayed on the board. He spent 1 year here. And thanks to him, I discovered another interesting professor from UC Berkeley called Anu Saxenian. So I think Vivek Kulkarni, Raman Reddy, and B.V. Naidu would know. In the early days of IT.com, we used to have a special conference session. We talk about international stuff. So thanks to Ken Keniston, he convinced Anno to come. And I did something very interesting. I discovered a Bangalore boy through a Berkeley professor. The Bangalore boy happens to be Professor Balaji. Okay. And of course, during IT.com, we also wanted to prove lots of things. We actually transmitted a class from IIIT-Bangalore ITPL campus to Germany. And there was one person who watched it, who is now with us. His name is Dr. Srinath. So, see, how did we discover people is something which you should know. And we had another person, Professor C.K. Prahlad. We hosted his Center for Global Resource Leverage. And I tell you, on the day of the launch, we had 50% of the top 20 Indian company CEOs here. That is kind of stuff. And we had 4 Turing Award winners and one Nobel Prize winner. So I think. And we had an unusual person, Tom Kailath. Okay, go and discover. He actually gave a talk here. Okay. But I think I also want to kind of tell you something interesting. The heroes. 5 of you sitting here, you are my heroes. The first batch of students, I even remember the exact number, 4,361. I still do not know how that many applications came. 136 joined, and we did not have one dropout. And we did something very special, partly because, you see, Murugan, I had kind of taken him from IIMB, and I told Murugan, there are 35 people running the computers in IIMB, but you will be the only person who will run it, because I can't afford people. So what we told them was, we gave a laptop to every student, and then I told them that, look, they will come and tell Murugan, if they should be able to fix everything else. If they can't fix it, they will come to Murugan and tell 3 times, I so-and-so student of IIIT is ashamed that I could not fix my laptop. Murugan, please fix it. Okay, so nobody will come. So no problem for Murugan. Okay. But that is something. And of course, whether it is Balaji and Srinath particularly and Professor Ganesha, I really don't know why they bet on me. And they could have gone to best institutes in India. They decided to stay at IIIT. And they, in fact, were responsible for so many people to follow. And I have an unusual person, Abraham. He's not here today. Maybe he's busy somewhere. But he was running there as a very difficult job of registrar. And Prakash followed, Ramchandra followed. Why they came and served, I don't know. Only the good Lord. And Mr. Pichaya, I used to be in the board of BEML. He was running a balance sheet of 6,000 crores. And we were not even 13.5. So I told Pichaya sir that, I want you, but I know it's such a small job. But I need to prepare the institute for something. But within his 5 years, 13.5 crores became 135 crores. I think that's what it is, right? And of course, there are regulators, the UGC, AICTE, everyone else. There is one special person, Professor Sonde. When you have NAC, and you have UGC, you have AICTE, all that I have to do is request Professor Sonde to come. And he sits there, magic happens. Because the UGC secretary, he was his PhD advisor. And then the AICTE chairman, he was only about 14 years younger to him in the college. So what happens is, the moment Professor Sonde is there, everything just falls in place. I think that is something. And of course, we had some amazing people. Of course, all the 6 founders of Infosys have been in some way or other connected with the institute. Of course, the 2 of them are sitting here, they're amazing. And between them, 24 years, they have been the chair. So what more you want? But in addition, TCS, Ramdurai and Chandra, they have been so kind. They have come as a convocation. There was one special person, Vishwanathan and I be remembering, John Hushan. John Hushan was heading the GE here. And he got something for IIIT students which very few institutes in the whole planet have. 18 of our students had 20 minutes exclusive with John Hushan. And John Hushan on that time was the GE chairman, and GE was at the top at that time. Happened. And of course, Bob Wickstra, Phillips, TI people, etc., etc. So a lot of them, I don't want to get into all the details, but something which is very close to me. The last mail from Devang Mehta before he died was to me. And he still wanted some help, so he was trying to find some more money for IIIT-B, etc. There was another amazing individual, Trideep Rai Chaudhary. Unfortunately, he passed away during COVID. And of course, SN is with us, S. Nagarajan. Give him a big hand. SN and Trideep, they taught one advanced operating system course, one advanced database course for 14 years in a row. Full course of 45 contact hours. I did not even pay for their, what is called, ITPL. We used to have a big parking fee. They didn't even charge for it. That's amazing. Okay. And of course, Roland and Sheshu of Daimler. The first chair professorship for IIIT-B was not from any Indian company. It was from Daimler Chrysler. Thanks to Roland. So it's amazing. Okay. So I don't want to go any further. I think, I'll take about 2 minutes or maybe a minute plus key things. Some unusual things happened. Mr. Narayan Murthy is famous for giving hard assignments to many people. He gave me a very hard assignment. We had to run a program called STP. Mr. Murthy, it was the most difficult job, but most satisfying job. 79 of them in 22 countries. They wish me every time, including Vijayadashmi. Sharad Sharma and Sanjay Anandram of Icebird, they came and said, we want to do something. We have put 4 institutes, IIT Madras, ISC, IMB and you. But we are coming first to meet you. Can you do something? That was something which we have never done in the country. It was so large because, our budget is now 20 crores and this project is at least 400 crores. How do you do it? I don't know. He said, I actually told them, you shall go no further. Period. That is MOSIP. Okay? Professor Anand from IIT Madras came. He said that Foreign Secretary called him and Myanmar President had asked Japanese, the Japanese had proposed to Myanmar President, they'll set up an Institute for Information Technology. The Myanmar President said, very nice, thank you, but please set up an Institute for Manufacturing. For IT, we will go to India. This is from Myanmar President to Mr. S. M. Krishna. So, Professor Anand said that, look, this is something we have to deliver. And he talked to Ramdurai. Ramdurai said, go and meet Sharagopan. So, Anand sits in my office and he said, you have to run MIIT. What it is, no one knows. How to do it, no one knows. Okay, 135 crores for the government of India. And the only thing I could do was, for some reason, Uparwala sends people. Raja came to my office and the rest is history. We have delivered it so well. Already, it has been in the top 3. It has been the top institute in Myanmar, top 3 in that region, and people are working in at least 17 countries. So they are doing very well. And Tricha Anjali, probably she's not here today. Tricha did some magic. Rani Screwwala came one day and he said, sir, I will come to your space. I don't watch movies. I don't watch movies for 60 years. So I told Rani, I don't understand you. Rani Screwwala of UTV. He said, sir, I have come to your position. We want to do something. And thanks to Tricha, we did something. And between 2015 to 2018, we were the largest online learning platform in the planet. Okay? And last but not the least, I thought I should also tell you some stories. There are human stories, hundreds of them. Unfortunately, We have no time for them. This auditorium was built completely during COVID time. And there were 600 men and women. I simply said that, look, if you go to Bihar, you may not get anything, so I'll give you food. Whatever pace you want to work, you work. But we want to get it completed. When you get time, go and take a look at the auditorium, 1,100-seater auditorium. The kind of polish they have done is something. And I think it is a human story is, between them, there were men and women. There was a man running after a woman, and they got engaged, they got a baby. So, because remember, it's all 2 years, right? So he came and said, sir, humko sharam aata hai. I'm ashamed. I said, why are you ashamed? It's just nature. Okay. So I have kept the Aadhaar card of that student. I have kept the Aadhaar number of the parents. I will share it. Request to faculty members, when the student is eligible, admit him or her without fee. That is a promise I had given him. I won't be around, but it will take another 20 years, okay? But I think what an interesting stuff. I think this is what makes institution building such an amazing job. Sorry for kind of taking a little longer than what I should have, but I thought you should know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. IIIT-B considers itself fortunate to have had board members who bring a wealth of experience from the realms of government, academia, industry, and even our alumni. Today's special occasion is also dedicated to honoring the contributions of both our former and current board members. May I request our director and registrar to honor the esteemed former board members. I request Mr. Vivek Kulkarni to please come up to the stage. I request Mr. M.N. Vidyashankar, IAS retired, to please come up to the stage. I request Dr. Ramana Reddy, IAS retired, to please come up to the stage. I request Ms. Rajalakshmi to please come up to the stage. I request Mr. Milind Priolkar to please come up to the stage. I now request Dr. Gautam Hegde to please come up to the stage.
It is our honor to felicitate our current board members present here. May I request our director and registrar to honor the esteemed board members. I request Mr. Naresh Shah to please come up on the stage. I request Dr. Ekroop Kaur, IAS, to please come up on the stage. I request Professor Rishikesh Krishnan to please come up on the stage. I request Mr. K.S. Vishwanathan to please come up on the stage. I request Mr. Shaji Matthew to please come up on the stage. I request Mr. Kishore Rami Sethi to please come up on the stage. I request Mr. Khadim Bhatti to please come up on the stage. Thank you, everyone. How about a guess on who played a pivotal role in guiding the very first PhD holder of IIIT-B, Dr. Ashok K. Talukdar in 2008? The credit goes to none other than our director, Professor Debabrata Das. His mentorship and guidance paved the way for the academic achievement of Dr. Talukdar, showing the impactful role of Professor Das in nurturing scholarly success within the IIIT-B community. As we reflect on the incredible journey of IIIT-B, let's pause to acknowledge and honor our former deans. May I request Professor Balaji Parthasarthi and Professor Jyotsana Bapat to please come up on stage. I kindly request our director to honor them.
Thank you, everyone. Let's not forget the contributions of our registrars who played an important role to streamline operations, enhance institutional efficiency, and contribute overall success and administration of the academic institution. May I now request Professor K.V. Dinesha, Mr. Ramchandra, and Mr. V.S. Prakash to come on stage to receive the honor. Unfortunately, Mr. Abraham could not come on account of some personal commitments. Let's call upon our director, Professor Das, and current registrar, Commodore S.R. Sridhar, to felicitate the former registrars. Professor S.S. Prabhu, Professor Rajgopalan, Professor Kincha, and Professor Narahari have been monumental pillars in the thriving journey of IIIT-B. Their sage-like guidance and unwavering support have paralleled the wisdom of Dronacharya and Bhishmacharya. We kindly invite Professor Prabhu, Professor S. Rajgopalan, Professor Kincha, and Professor Narahari to join us on stage. Unfortunately, Professor Narahari could not join us here due to other commitments. I now request our director to bestow well-deserved honors upon these esteemed professors for their exceptional dedication.
let's pause to offer our profound appreciation and recognition to three remarkable members of the non-teaching staff at IIIT-B. Since the Institute's inception, they have been unwavering in their commitment. Their tireless presence and behind-the-scenes dedication have been instrumental in the seamless operation and advancement of the Institute. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Durai Murugan, Ms. Rama Devi, and Mr. Soma Shekharaya K to the stage. I request the Director and Registrar to extend their honors to these exceptional individuals. The bond between the Institute and its alumni holds immense value, and today it's crucial to recognize and honor Mr. Hema Chandra, the President of the Alumni Association. May I request Mr. Hema Chandra to please come on stage? To carry out this honor, I would like to extend an invitation to our Director and Dean of Student Affairs, Professor Manisha Kulkarni.
We now approach the event's final and momentous chapter, the valedictory address by Padma Vibhushan Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan serves as the symbolic culmination, an opportunity for the chairman to distill the event's core, convey appreciation, and offer parting wisdom. It is with great honor that we invite Padma Vibhushan Mr. Chris Gopalakrishnan to the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. Distinguished guests, faculty, staff and students, alumni. It's wonderful to see all of you today on the occasion of the Silver Jubilee. I want to thank Professor Devrada Das and the entire team behind this nice function. One of the most important things in life is to say you are grateful. So thank you for putting together this wonderful function. For an institute, 25 years is a short period. But within that short period, this institute has had a significant impact. And it's important again to recognize such a milestone. Professor Sadagopan talked about the wonderful people who have contributed to where this institute is, including the people who are involved in the construction of this building. Everybody. When you reflect on life, you realize that every single day, many people are supporting and helping you. Many people. You are where you are because of all their contributions, all their good wishes, all their blessings, and being grateful is very, very important. And also being humble enough to know that it's not you alone who has achieved this, but it's with the support of hundreds and thousands of people around you. To me, an institute like IIIT is like a tree. Somebody planted the seed. The tree started growing. When it's young, small number of flowers. The flowers bear fruits and seeds. Those seeds go on to build other or create other trees around the world. And the story goes on. Today, IIIT is a young tree. Of course, it has grown, number of students have grown, and they will have impact in many places around the world. But again, the story goes on. And institutions go beyond individuals, and we need to remember that. We are trustees, and our function is to make sure that we take care of the institute, its reputation, its objectives, goals, what its responsibilities are. And then at some point in the future, we hand it over to other people to carry on that journey. And, the people who started this, planted the seeds, they have handed over the institution to the current set of people. And our job is to, of course, make sure that, when it's time to move on, we make sure that the institute is stronger in all aspects, and it is better, its brand is better, its contributions are bigger, it continues to grow, the number of students increases, and then we hand it over to another set of people who we hope will take this institution to even greater heights. So on this occasion, I want to thank all the people who have built this institution to where it is today. Their hard work, commitment, passion, belief in the dream, belief in the vision is what we have been handed with now, and all the people who are currently working very hard to make sure that this institution continues to grow from stature to stature. Thank you all, and thank you for the IIIT-Bangalore team for putting together a wonderful and memorable function. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. May I request everyone to please stand for the national anthem to conclude today's event.
जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
Thank you, everyone.
I extend a warm invitation to all to partake in a sumptuous plantain leaf lunch, boasting an array of delectable dishes. I kindly request our gracious hosts and dedicated volunteers to guide our esteemed guests to the basement via the lifts. Thank you.
Thank you, my colleagues, my dear colleagues, for this Silver Jubilee occasion function. And it is very heartening to see that all the chairmen were here, and also former director, former registrars. Unfortunately, Avram fell sick only 2 days back. If he would have been here, all the five registrars would have been here. And all the deans, former deans, present deans, coordinators, wardens, faculty members, staff, present and former, all are here. I want to thank each and every one of this organizing committee who has really toiled for more than a month, 1.5 months, because I was also told my office and all that at the end, this function will not end without felicitating my own colleagues, professors, and the staff, faculty members and the staff. And so we added this afternoon program, 3 to 4. And thank you all for coming, and we'll start it shortly. And let me tell you that all of your contribution as a responsibility given to all of you is extremely important. And I felt from my heart that without your contribution, today we would not have reached to this stage. Most important thing for all of us, including me, you, and the faculty and staff, is the center is our student. And all of us work day and night, think for them day and night, how to teach well or how to support them well from office point of view, and all from teaching point of view, research point of view, funding point of view. Anything we bring in and give, it is only to the students. This kind of opportunity we very rarely get, all the staff, faculty in a single room. So we should felicitate and thank you from our core of our heart to all of you for your contribution. Thank you again.
Good afternoon to you all. Now I call Dean Academics, Professor Chandrasekhar Ramanath. Dean Faculty, Professor Shisha Rao. Dean R&D, Professor Srinath Srinivasa. Dean Student Affairs, Professor Manisha Kulakrendi. Dear Registrar Commodore S.R. Sridhar. CAO, Mr. Jagdish Patil. Professor Amit Chattopadhyay. Professor Amit Prakash. Professor Amrita Mishra. Professor Ashish Chaudhary. Professor Badrinath. Professor B. Ashok. Professor Bidisha Chowdhury, Professor Dinesh Babu Jayagopi. Professor G.R. Sinha, Professor G. Srinivasa Raghavan. Professor Ishu Gupta, Professor Janaki Srinivasan, Professor Jaya Srivalsan Nayak, Professor Kurian Polachan, Professor Madhav Rao, Professor Manikandan, Professor Meenakshi D'Souza, Professor Milin Gande, Professor Nandita Rao, Professor Pradisha Ashok, Professor Preeti Mudliar, Professor Prem Singh, Professor Priyanka Das, Professor Raghuram Bharadwaj, Professor Ramesh Kestur, Professor Sachit Rao, Professor Shivakumar Malapaka, Professor Srinivas Vivek, Professor Sujit Kumar Chakrabarti, Professor T.K. Srikant, Professor Tangaraju, Professor Uttam Kumar. Professor V.N. Muralidhara. Professor V. Ramasubramanian. Professor V. Sridhar. Professor Vinod Veera Reddy. Professor Vino V. Venugopal. Professor Vishwanath Gopalakrishnan. Professor Kuryan Polachan.
Director will now felicitate the staff. The names will be called out in alphabetical order. Mr. Abhilash Raikar. Ms. Akshata PB. Ms. Anita Kumari Yadav. Ms. Annapurna GH. Ms. Artira Rajendran. Ms. B. Nirmala. Mr. Bashi De. Ms. Bhagya Lakshmi. Professor T.K. Shrikant. Mr. Bishwa Bhushan Dal. Miss Cynthia Demelo. Mr. Danu Shar. Miss G. Pushpa. Mr. Girish Govind. Mr. Harish Kumar. Mr. Harshit Patel. Commander J. Venkata Prasad. Mr. Maniram. Mr. Manjunatha N. Mr. Manoj HP. Ms. Maitri P. Ms. Nandakumari T. Ms. Nandini M. Ms. Nandini V. Dr. Neha Arora. Ms. Nivedita M. Mr. Pavan Patel GM. Mr. Prasanna Kumar Nayak. Ms. Prasina MS. Ms. Pushpa MV. Ms. R. Padmavati. Mr. Raghavendra M. Ms. Rashmita Sahu. Ms. Roshni D'Souza. Mr. Satish Veeranan. Mr. Sivaprakash. Colonel Srinath A. Mr. Shiva Chetri. Mr. Subramani K. Mr. Suresh Kumar. Ms. Swati Sharma. Mr. T.S. Shomashekar. Ms. Veda Murli. Mr. Vigneshwar Hegde. Ms. Vinuta Vidyasagar. Mr. Vishnu Raj. Mr. Vivek Yadav. Mr. Arun Kumar Gurumurthy. Ms. S. Kalpana.
Ms. Vandana Bhavani Shankar.
So we are done. I'll request the deans to come on stage because director in all his humility, we tried to tell him that we want to honor him in the morning, but he says he will do the honors for others, not for himself. So sir, may I request you to please, I'll request all the deans to please honor our director.
Mr. Arun Kumar.